Okay. Working on projects. Hello. What's up? What's going on? Hey, everybody. Lots of people. Lots of dust. Just screwing around. Nothing doing in particular. Let's point the fan at me. It's starting to get hot here in Texas. How's everybody doing today? So, got our Alpha Trooper here. Already cut off the back, as you can see. Screwing with the snooper, yep. I got my handle here. What I went ahead and did was just casted some resin in here real quick, and then I started chopping it down. I chopped down both sides, and then chopped down this, lightly sanded it just to kind of get it started. Obviously very porous. I stuck some, what are they called? Popsicle sticks in the back here, kind of like this, as it was curing, because I realized that I didn't put in enough. And so I had displaced the resin with some popsicle sticks, so that's why there's this little bit of a void back here. Most of them were cut off. But it's not a big deal because I'm going to fill it in with epoxy putty anyway. That was just to get rid of the majority of the space so it wouldn't be solid epoxy putty. And it's not going to pop out because I drilled holes in it previously in different angles, different directions, so that it's actually being locked in here. It couldn't pop out even if it wanted to. So somewhere like this. Did we just lose connection? Well, hold on. Let's see if we lost connection here. Nope, we didn't. We're still good. So my driver crashes every now and again because NVIDIA is like, oh, do you still have Windows 7? Screw you. So it does that every now and again. But apparently OBS is more stable than whatever I was using before. Hey everybody, how's it going? Angled drilling, really smart engineering. Well, it's not really angled. Well, I mean it's angled, but like it's more just like anchors. Anywho, this is gonna go down here like this because the tank is going in the back like that. The only reason why I can I'll show you how I stuck that in there just like that in a second, but that's gonna go in there like that. And it's a bit of a unique shape, but I actually kind of like the design of this. It's different, and I don't have very many blasters that are like this different. So video output low. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Not sure if that's on my end, but I'm not sure if there's a whole lot I can do about that. Let me know if there's interruptions or something. Off topic, but what crushes your prototype cage? It's stock. Oh, what? So the reason why the tank is back here, well, this, first of all, let's start from the beginning. This is going to be an HPA primary, mainly because I don't have enough funds for Dogma, and we have an NIC war scheduled for mid-March, and I want to see if I can get this done before mid-March, just so I have a pump action HPA blaster, because that's something that I don't have. So I'm going to see if I can get this done before then. So this is an HPA blaster. XBZ in the back. The reason why the tank is so far back is because I need this dead space right here to prime the next round. Otherwise it would be reversed. So let me get the grip. Hold on. Okay. I was asking about the tank, but you're going to explain it right now, so I'll wait. Oh. So you have your priming grip on the Alpha Trooper right here, and your normal operation is the resting position is going to be in the front. You're going to prime it back, and that will open up the breech, and then you'll load your next round by moving that back forward. And that's great, that's good. But if you're going to do an HPA, if you have the tank right here, you can't prime back any more than this. It's already there. So this turns into the default position, and then you prime the breech forward to chamber your next round. And that's okay if you're used to it, but the main problem is I will eventually get used to this, but I don't want to get used to this because I don't have any other pump action blaster right now. So eventually I'm going to get used to this, and then when I do, I'm going to feel weird doing a normal priming normal blaster. If I'm borrowing someone else's blaster, or if I'm just like, messing with the blaster or something, it's gonna feel weird. So I don't want to get used to that. So in order to solve that, I'm moving the tank back here and purposefully having about 4 inches of dead space, which isn't great, but for an HPA blaster, it's not the worst thing in the world because there's so much excess volume. There's so much excess power that it's going to be fine anyway. So not optimal, but it's going to make this blaster more comfortable. And it's sticking out the back. Obviously, you have a bit of a thing right here. You can't really get a good stock on here without building a stock around this and making it a little bit chunky in this area. So I decided to go with an undermounted one right here, and that kind of gives it a unique shape. So, hey Jalen, what's up? So that's the current plan right now. I'll get this one painted up and nice eventually, but I just want to get this working for now. So the way that I got this sticking in here is I actually have the plunger tube in here, and I'm going to be using this as a retainer. There's this ring right here that I broke off. I didn't care about it, and then pulled the plunger out. And this actually just happens to friction fit over this right there. So when I come back in this way, it pops out the front just a little bit. And so it actually holds in there. This orange thing won't be in here by the time I'm done, but I'm going to have a little 3D printed spacer right here, and that's going to attach to the back of here, and it'll fit in like that. And then this will be one piece. There'll be brass on the inside of here. And then this will be able to just sit in here like that. And I won't have to permanently mount this. And it'll still be super, super secure. No point in power if you can't feel lax when you're holding it. Yeah. No, a cast would work, but this is a one-off thing. This is a one-off project. I'm not planning on doing more than one of these. I'm not planning on justifying it that much. If I was going to do resin, what I would probably do is pour it from the inside of here, and then pour it around there, and then purposely break the seal, and then glue it back on, which is an option. But I think 3D printing is going to be fine for this. I don't care enough to do it properly. This isn't like my ultimate end-all be-all blaster, so I'm okay with that. Don't paint it. I already have a color scheme in mind, so I'm going to be painting it. So we just have some parts here for now. So what I want to do is to try to get this stock fitted onto the back of here. The current plan is to take some PVC sheet or something similar and maybe polycarbonate and make a little stick out here. And there's actually quite a bit of, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. It actually goes down quite a bit in here. Let's see if we can get a depth on this. So from the top all the way up here, you get that much. From all the way down here, we're talking about choking up right there. you still get that much depth. That's actually quite a bit of depth, excuse me. That's about 1 3/4 of an inch of depth in there from this point right here. So probably run a screw through here, or maybe even a thumb screw or something, so I can take it off on the fly. Probably a thumb screw now that I'm thinking about it. And I'll be able to slide this on so it will still be detachable. But I wanted to cut this down because actually I have the piece right here. You can see those popsicle sticks I was talking about. Because all of this bulk, I was trying to figure out how to make the stock attachment point on here and have a default stock attachment point. But no matter which way I cut it, it was way too thick, especially this ways. And I wouldn't have been happy with it. So I'm doing this proprietary one instead. Hey Trico, what's up? Long, difficult, not difficult, but it's long and tedious, so it's moving slow. Okay, so let's figure out what is going on here. And wait, first we need to figure out the thickness of this thing down here. And it's a little bit more, it's a little bit less than a popsicle stick. I can't quite, there's like 2 ridges down there. It's kind of hard to explain. If we're talking about a cross section like this, it goes down a little bit, shrinks a little bit, and then goes a little bit further and cuts off. So fitting it in this way, it will go down to the first ridge, but then it stops right about there, and it can't quite make it all the way down to the bottom. So we're going to start with this thickness of a popsicle stick here, and then sand the sides to try to get it a nice friction fit. And then I can measure from right here to right here to get that measurement. Are you going to do anything with the plunger tube? Yeah, that's what's going to be holding the XVZ onto the rest of the posture. So LPA Retaliator build stream Sunday. Perhaps. Shoot. Yes, perhaps. Let me get back to you on that. Okay, so it's probably about 3. Wait, that's an 1/8. So 3/8. I think I have 3/8 polycarbonate somewhere. Hold on. That's aluminum. See, this is my just my block that I use for like drilling holes and stuff, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's 3/8. So if I can find the rest of this, but it's not a very big chunk of it. I wonder if I have any in my scrap bin. Not really. It's kind of expensive stuff, so I'm sure I put it somewhere safe where I would never be able to find it. Oh, look what I found. It's the thicker gauge soldering wire. I've been looking for that forever. Well, we're not finding what I want, but at least we're finding some things. Actually, I might do 2 1/4-inch panels, so I can actually mount them on either side of the shell, so I can take it apart and it's like attached to both sides of the shells. Because I could just do one thick piece like this and attach it to one side of the shell, but it might be a little bit more secure if I split it up and attach one to either side. So maybe that was a blessing in disguise. I think PVC might be a little bit more durable in this instance, but I'm not sure Don't want to use polycarbonate or PVC. I might use polycarbonate just because it's not as toxic when I'm dremeling it. I think, yeah, okay. Never mind, thinking out loud. I got a big swatch of, this is 1/4" polycarb. Not the cheapest stuff in the world, but it is what it is. You pissed me off yesterday? If it makes you feel better, I don't remember. You finally found it. Holy crap. Yeah, finally. Hey, Jason, what's up? I don't know what he did, Trico. Okay, so let's get an estimate of how much we need here. So, we don't need that much. What did we say? 1 3/4 inches deep. So we'll just say 2 inches even deep. So like that whole, that's a little over, oh, you guys can't see. That's from here to here is a little bit over 2 inches. So we'll go ahead and do that way. And it's no deeper than that right there. So we'll just, something like that. We'll cut this really big so that we can have a lot of room to play with here. So if we cut out 2 panels like that, and then we can start shaping them. Okay. Ow, 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 ow. Hold on. Ow. This isn't good. My feet are starting to itch, which means because I cut this up and was dremeling this, and this is glass fiber reinforced. So I'm assuming there's little tiny bits of glass on the ground. It's probably not the greatest. Hold on, I'm gonna move the mic here. We're about to get a bandsaw inbound, so watch your headphones. Alright, here we go. And that's cut. It's really nice having a bandsaw. Well, Hawkeye MC Shirt Pants is streaming. What? Give me 1 second to vacuum a little bit better than I did before. I need to vacuum the ground. I'm not sure if that's going to help any, but my feet, the bottom of my feet are starting to itch, and that's not really a good sign. We working on Alpha Snooper? Yep, that's what we're working on. So if we were trying to keep this polycarbonate nice, then we would want to keep these, it comes, if you get any sort of decent quality plastic, it's going to come with some protective plastic on it. And if you were going to keep this nice, then you would want to keep this on there as long as possible. You know, do your carving on the side or whatever, keep this on as long as you can. But obviously, we're going to be carving this up and eventually painting it, I'm assuming. So we can go ahead and take that off immediately. The only reason why you wouldn't want to keep this on before you're done forming it is if you're vacuum forming or doing any sort of thermal forming, because sometimes it'll be paper, not plastic. But if you do any sort of thermal forming, it's not generally a great idea to keep this stuff on there, because it'll just kind of ruin everything. So Doesn't need to be pretty, because it's going to get carved down anyway. Probably don't even really need to do this, but here I am, doing it anyway. Okay, so obviously that no fit. That's kind of what we're expecting here. Oh, you know what? It's better that we did the 1/4 inch anyway, because I forgot to account for this, which happens to be 1/2 inch. So that's actually right where we want it to be. Whoops. Happy mistake. So now we need to figure out how to get this in here. So we'll do some unofficial measurements here. Measure the shoulder down here. Should get my calipers, but I'm not going to. So we'll put it right there as the depth. We'll come up a little bit. Up a little bit. No, we're going to go down a little bit. And that should be that depth right there, right? Which means we can carve that back just a little bit. Yeah, okay. Just making sure. So we need to get that ground down here. Then there. And that's like that the whole way. Okay. So this looks like this is the flattest surface right here. So I'll go ahead and try to square this out. One way to do this would be to put some mold release in here and cast some resin in there, and then get a stick of something. Stick more than this, because this would probably snap. And then cast it in there, and then pull this out. And then you'd have a perfect formation of what's in here. And you might not want to use this particularly, but at least that would give you a reference so that you could build something stronger that you could attach there. But this is, I'm just going to do this manually, because I'm going to do this manually. If I end up screwing this up, or if I'm not happy with the results, I can always do it that way, and that won't take too long. But I just feel like doing it this way right now, so. I wonder who wouldn't is it the... I'm not even going to bother reading that, Trico. It'll be manual pump. I just need something in the meantime between here and Dogma. I could probably use a regular sheet of paper for this. And the two words you're looking for there is pump action or semi-auto. Give me 1 sec. I might take dinner's ready here. I wasn't aware of how late it is. Since we've only been going for about 24 minutes here, I might just stop the stream here and then pick it up after dinner. I don't know if that's going to be 30 minutes. I don't know if that's going to be longer or shorter. But I'm kind of hungry here. I'm so sorry. I wasn't aware of how late it was. But hey, at least we found my my solder. I've been looking everywhere for this. It fell behind like the thing down there. the materials down there. Would you guys mind if I stopped for dinner? Is that something that you guys would terribly mind? Micro stream. Yes, no, maybe. Food important. Happy eating. Okay. So we'll go ahead and end the stream here. We will be back in a little bit. If you don't feel like coming back, that's fine. I understand. But I will be back regardless. I'm not going to give a promise on time or even a frame of reference because I don't want you guys waiting around. Please don't wait for me. I have no idea when I'm going to be back on, but I do want to get back on here eventually. Get unhungry. I like that. If someone I care about cooks for food for me, pretty much food. Okay. Thank you guys very much for tuning into this very, very short stream. We will be back eventually. But that is pretty much all for now. So, yeah, I think that's it. And end stream.